All right, we're back at it here. This is Unapologetically Men, and today Lando is hosting the show because we're just having some technical difficulties right now, so we got to switch things up a little bit. And Max is on the line. He's calling in from satellite.
For sure, for sure. What's good, people? This is your boy Max back on it. And so you like your boy said, we having some technical difficulties. So he's gonna be running the show, started off, and I'm ready. Let's roll.
All right, so yeah, we're about to get into it. I know it's been a while since we've been back up here, but this is pandemic season, and everybody's just trying to maintain and survive and try to navigate through this what everybody likes to call the new normal. But for real, ain't nothing normal about this. But yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. Anything you want to say about what's been going on before we get into the main topics?
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting dynamic, having to wear a mask everywhere or not wear a mask everywhere. Sometimes you just get tired of wearing a mask, or sometimes it even makes me feel sick just to have it on or have one on. And then you got the whole image, your image that you're projecting out to other people with what type of mask you're wearing. So that's always an interesting thing too. So
yeah. I've been seeing a lot of advertisements.
Isn't it Japan though that's been having masks like long before the pandemic even began anyway? So
well, from what I've been hearing, other countries have been handling this situation either better or differently than the United States.
Oh yeah.
Like China has already been lifting everything, and that's where supposedly everything originated. So it's like, if Ground Zero's doing okay, then what's our problem?
Right. Americans. America, fuck yeah.
Right. And it's interesting because there's a lot of advertisements in fashion that are kind of like pairing a mask with your outfit. I don't know if you've seen that on the internet or in social media.
Right.
Like a guy might have a suit, like a custom suit, and he'll have a matching mask to go with it, like a lapel or something. It's like, what?
Attachment to the brand, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, our main topic today is basically about how women sleeping around, body count, that sort of thing. We're just gonna touch on that a little bit, and just how women can just be ran through, and what ran through means. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has their own individual definition of what ran through could possibly mean. Max, what do you think being ran through means?
Get the traditional high body of being ran through. For me, like that's still like the main focal point of that term or that slogan. But it's like once I think a woman's gotten to the age of like 30, there's probably a high enough body count on by anybody's standard for her to be considered ran through. So it's like, what isn't ran through anymore after a woman's hit 30? You know what I'm saying? Like they're not particularly practicing low body count or abstinence or whatever, but because they're like what they say, they come in their prime sexual years around that age, around 30 years old. So they're doing the most.
Well, that's what they think their prime sexual years are, but it's more like what, 22 to 26 or something like that.
Wait, well, when you talking about, I kind of like split it up in terms of fertility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, their prime years at that age, but when I'm talking like their sexual experience.
Oh, okay.
And how much they want sex, it's like when they get to 30, they're like doing the most, dude. They're like pulling out all kinds of stops. It's crazy. So that's my take on it. Like, as far as it's like who isn't ran, like what chick isn't ran through after the age of 30? People are always talking about, you pick the right woman to marry and all that good jazz. I'm like, how is that even possible if all of y'all doing the same thing?
Right. And I'll take it a step further. Like, my take on what it is to be ran through is it's a little bit more broad. It's more than just a woman's body count. it could
Mm-hmm.
also be the consequences of a woman's individual decisions that she endures over her, the periods of her life. So
Yeah.
basically, it's like, yeah, obviously a woman with a high body count is ran through, but also a woman that um, kind of lends herself to men that just run her over, and she does
Yeah.
this willfully, thinking that the magic vajayjay will like change a man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
it's
Right.
like now she's enduring all this trauma and stress that ages her faster because
Yeah.
of the stuff that she's willing to lend herself to. Now she's ran through. So
It's kind of like that's kind of like I agree with that too. It's kind of like having a chick be in a relationship where she's being abused
mhm,
for a good number of years versus a chick with a like short history of relation interactions. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the
mhm,
one chick on one hand has a high body count, and the other chick on the other hand doesn't have a high body count, but she's been through this terrible like toxic relationship she's been involved in for so many years. Like they're
right.
kind of like the same thing almost.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is the same thing because all these things takes a toll on a woman's emotions and
Yeah,
psyche. You know what I mean? All of this stuff is connected to a woman's emotions. Every decision that she makes, whether she's with the right guy or she buys the right pair of shoes, is going to affect her emotions.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right. And
So,
they still like consider or keep making those same decisions too. On top of
mm-hmm.
that, yeah, I mean, how much of that you think is biology? You know, how much are you thinking that just their human nature versus just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, and it also goes towards how women they don't. How can I put this? You know how like that term mansplaining came along is
right,
because women they don't want a man to solve their problems. They just want a man to hear them.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So it's like a woman feels like it's just a huge negative if a man interjects and literally gives her a solution for a problem to where she has no more problem. You know what I mean? What she's mad about is not so much that she has no more problem, but it's more like, what does she have to complain about now? Her problem
Right.
is fixed. She's mad that her problem is gone because that was her only source of power.
Mm,
And it's like if it and this transitions into how women, get past the wall. When the pussy is no longer their form of power, their problems are their only resort of power now.
I see. I see. I got you.
I mean, does that sound like it makes sense?
Yeah, I got you.
So it's like if they don't have any problems to offer a man to continually fix, then they really have nothing to offer.
Or they'll try to make some.
Oh, of course they're gonna
They
make
try to
some.
make up. They make up problems.
Of course they're gonna make some. I mean, anytime you have a conversation with a woman, is it usually a conversation that is of anything of interest, or is she bringing a problem to you to listen to?
Right.
Yeah,
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 and
gentlemen, pay attention to that. Next time you have any conversation with a woman, I don't care if it's like from a female friend or somebody you're involved with or whatever, but listen to what she's talking about. Is she talking about something that is worthwhile on any level, or is she presenting you a problem that she just wants to discuss but not solve? You know?
and, it's usually the later.
Yeah, yeah, most of the
But yeah,
time.
but like I said though, I'm just like in order to find the chick that's I would say is not ran through, she's gonna have to be 18 to 20 years old, most likely. And when they get to about 20, 21, that's when they
Mm-hmm.
start, hitting college age and, hit that 21 age where they start choking back all the tequila shots.
Mm.
Then
Yeah.
you're starting to see like then they're coming into those years where they just like, oh, I'm a free spirit. Free spirit, aka I want to ride the car carousel.
Yep.
So but that's pretty much where that I think that comes into play.
And
And
this
then by
is
the time, now if they were smart, if they were smart enough, like if chick was smart enough, she gotta have a little bit of fun. Like, it's human. That's just humans. But she
mhm.
gotta have a little bit of fun, and then she finds a dude who is valuable enough to her, and she just locks it in and stays there at that and grows with that dude. But no, they like to have the next shiny object.
Well, the thing is, they just want more. I was
Yeah,
having a
yeah, they
discussion with
always want
somebody on
more.
face.
Yeah, that's just all the time. Always
Yeah.
want more. But when they try to monkey branch and jump ship is
Mm-hmm.
when they falter, and so they continue when they make that first jump or even the second jump.
Mm-hmm.
When I speak of first and second jump, I'm talking like the first dude they fell in love with or the second dude they fell in love with.
Mm-hmm.
After that, after you done fell in love like twice, like you should like they like have a lower chance of securing that.
Here's what they don't get.
High value man.
Here's what they don't get, and I'll make this a gambling analogy.
Mm-hmm.
The house always wins.
True.
And what that means is, it's like when you go to the casino, you may win once, you may win twice, but at some place you gotta know when to quit while you're ahead. And in this generation, women don't know when to quit.
No,
some women will hit it big right off the bat and think, let me see if I could do better.
Yep.
And then they fail. Or either they'll hit it big after the second or third time, and then they keep trying to see if they can capitalize, but they still want more. And then when they crap out, because the house always wins, they want to blame everybody else and everything instead of.
Then they're back on the market.
Yep.
Realize that sexual market value has dropped drastically, and then what do? They drown themselves in sex, drown themselves in depression, whatever else you want to add to that list.
Mm-hmm.
But
they know they can always cater to the millions and millions of simps out there to inflate their ego.
Yeah, and then that's when it comes into when they have a problem with pair bonding at that point. Saying they can't really we can't really connect to a man like they should.
No, I mean, because they still have that mentality, even when they're post-wall, they still have that mentality that they might be able to do better.
Mm-hmm.
It always happens. I mean, I've seen so many women just get old and gray, still thinking that they're still a good catch. You know what I mean?
That's where this term "cat lady" comes from. They do have that idea that they're still this wonderful catch after all of the dirt that they've done.
Right. You know what I mean? And it's like they always want to point the finger back at men. I saw a woman make a comment on social media about, why do men cheat so much? And it's like they don't want to admit that cheating is just a byproduct of the atmosphere, the environment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's right or wrong or whatever. I mean it is wrong. Ethically speaking, it's wrong.
Right.
But what I am saying is, men and women cheat virtually at the same rate. It's just that men and women cheat for different reasons.
Right.
So men usually cheat because there's something lacking. But when women cheat, they cheat because they just plain want more.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as it is for women to acquire relationships and connections and things like that, it makes you scratch your head. Why would they cheat? You know what I mean?
Especially if they got a dude that's giving them everything they've been requesting.
Right.
So but at the same time, their brains work opposite.
Oh, absolutely.
They work backwards. You know what I'm saying? So you don't give her anything, and she wants you more. You know what I'm saying? But if you try to give her the world, they'll just crap all over it.
Right. And it's just funny how that works. You know what I mean? So I mean it just kind of makes it kind of bittersweet to know that at the end of the day, a woman is only as loyal as her temptations at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
She got a
what's
lot of
also ironic.
temptations. Yeah, if she got a lot of temptations,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't put. I mean, you can go have your fun, but don't put a whole lot of investment into that stock.
Yeah, I've always noticed that the guys that are actually in like unicorn relationships or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or decent relationships with women, or even in marriages that are decent, all of those women have no friends. You ever
Mm-hmm.
notice that? They
Yeah,
have
you
no
can,
female
yeah,
friends whatsoever.
yeah, you true. I believe so.
Because it's like when you got a woman that's got a bunch of female friends, there's
Yeah,
that competition. But any other thoughts you have?
that's all I got, man.
Yeah,
But,
that's kind of all I got too, man. So yeah, so once again, this is our newest cut. We're still surviving 2020. 2020 is the Black Mirror episode nobody saw coming.
bro,
You know.
you ain't lying, man.
Yeah.
2021 is gonna be interesting. You know what else is interesting is like seeing the women change through the last, I guess, probably 5 years. Like the variance. We'll have to roll that into a topic of another discussion.
Right.
The morphing of women from in the last 5 years. I think that should be our next. That'll be the next discussion, I think.
Oh yeah. We can definitely talk about,
Yeah,
also kind of add more to it.
Together. Let me get my notes together and show and like kind of just run through the gamut of what I've seen as far as what the Matrix is showing me in terms of the dynamics of men and women and their interaction with each other.
Yeah, I think women are generally far more reckless with sex than men are.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, because women have more consequences, but they act like they don't have as many consequences compared to men.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to roll into that one.
Yeah, they just have no sexual self control. But yeah, that's our show for today. Yeah, we're gonna come back as soon. We're definitely gonna do another cast. We're gonna try and get our technical stuff back on par so we can hit you with some more nuggets, some golden tidbits, and definitely more red pills. Because we gotta keep contributing into this thing.
For sure.
Because I know in 2021, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Cardi B wants to run for president. And yeah, can you imagine what that would be like?
God help us.
Mm.
But yeah, this is your boy Max too. So I'm kind of getting on the outskirts right now. We gonna get it back to popping. But until then, I'll see you guys again.
And this is Lando signing off. We'll see you.